Welcome back as we join you with breaking news here on Star News. Dick Jansen joining us by phone. He's been reporting on an accident that took place in uptown Martinsville a short time ago. Rather horrendous accident here, Dick. You don't see this kind of thing in uptown every day.
That's correct, Scott. Now, this has been going on, I would say, for the past maybe an hour, maybe longer. Now, this occurred on Ford Street, which is right next to, I believe, Ray Hollingsworth Dance Studio. Now, to my understanding, what I believe at this point in time, and keep in mind, folks, this case is still under investigation before they release all the actual details. To my understanding, there were two occupants of the vehicle, and as you can see, the vehicle there on the screen, one occupant at this point in time was still pinned in the vehicle there. Now, it crashed into the building right next door to Ray Hollingsworth Dance Studio. It was one, what looked to be mid-20s to early 30s female driver in the car was stuck. Her foot had become wedged in between the door and the door frame, and of course couldn't open the door anymore as the vehicle was pinned up against the building. As you'll be able to see here throughout the rest of the video, they had to use, as you can see there, jacks to try and elevate the vehicle a little bit more. Now this is a little bit difficult to understand, but they got jacks and blocks on both sides. Now this is so that they can elevate and so they can raise a side and also lower a side and have supports there. Those little yellow blocks are supports to prevent the vehicle from either slipping in one direction or the other. So it's very important that they had those blocks. They really helped out a lot today. A lot of glass and debris on the ground. Multiple units. Ford Street itself is not a very big or long street. Rescue vehicles took up almost the entire street from one end to the other, trying to get access to this patient to take care of them. Now, to my understanding, Air Care 3 was called in, which you'll be seeing those specially trained paramedics arriving on the scene shortly as well. Not exactly sure where they landed at, but they were able to load the patient up into the ambulance and proceed with the rescue in progress. A very tedious scene today there on Ford Street. Having a lot of work to do in order to be able to get that patient out. A lot of lowering and raising of the vehicle, busting out some of the windows there so they could pass oxygen masks and things of that nature through to the patient. Trying to keep the vehicle as stable as they can. Keep in mind, this lady's foot has been stuck in between the van and the building. One of the rescuers there on the scene made the comment of the foot, the ankle area had been completely crushed, and more details on this hopefully to come. Definitely a lot of work out there today by firefighters. Now, the building that it crashed into, they have a storefront window, was completely taken out by the van, as well as a few of the blocks there on the side, as well as the entryway, the entrance door to the building also taken out. As you can see, the lady in orange there, it's also believed at this time that she was also a passenger in the vehicle, and there you can see the foot pinned up against the building in the van. Very, very painful. Although the second passenger in the vehicle refusing medical treatment at the time, saying that she was okay, and more worried about the individual in the vehicle at the time. Now, this is when they're removing a lot of the glass from the vehicle, trying to make access a little bit easier. Also in an attempt to get that sliding door open, as I do believe the plans at this time were to transport the patient out of the van through that sliding door there on the side. Definitely not able to get her out either two of the front doors, having to go through the side there. So a very, very tense scene. As I think they were probably a good half an hour to 45 minutes in at this point, just trying to do everything they can to stabilize the van, stabilize the patient, and at that point in time is when they were able to proceed, of course, with extraction of the patient, having to make sure that all the glass is out of the way and moved out of the way in hopes not to, suffer any more injuries. As you can see there, it looks like a jacket is up in the air, and I'm not sure if it's on video or not, but you might be able to see here in a minute where there's actually a rescue worker underneath that jacket using the jacket to shield himself and the patient inside from any of that glass that they were busting out at the time. So a very, very intricate process here in the extraction of this patient. It's unclear at this time what caused this accident, as it's still under investigation, as we said earlier. So hopefully we'll be having more details on this later. But definitely a very harrowing, tense, and tedious day there on 4th Street.
Excellent job, Dick, in getting us this video and the report so quickly, and we appreciate your detailed description of the scene there. Not your typical accident, particularly in uptown Martinsville.
Yes, that's correct, Scott. We'll be having additional footage that's aired throughout the day as well. As I said, it was such a long, decisive situation here with this van. I think we probably got a good 20 minutes of footage today, so we'll be showing a lot of different points of view of this footage throughout the day as we go. But definitely a very, very interesting scene there today, and best wishes go out to the family, and thank you to all those involved. And thank you, Scott.
All right, folks, stay with us. We'll take a brief break. Be back with more local news right here on Star News.